Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. All right, so the Lakers play the Hawks this evening. The Hawks are a team that's on a 5-game winning streak. I watched highlights of all 5 of those games last night, and they're rolling, man. They got a lot of athletes, a lot of guys that look just alike. You're talking about like Jalen Johnson, Zachary Reese-Sachet, Dyson Daniels. They all look like they could be twins, literally. You got to look at their number to figure out who's who in certain cases. I'm not even kidding. But they all ball out. Dyson Daniels, someone we drafted and traded away in the Anthony Davis trade, is turned into arguably one of the best defensive players in all of the NBA right now. The boy is kicking tail in stealing the basketball. He has a super gift for stealing the basketball. It's some Gary Payton stuff he's on, and we need to be aware of him down there on both sides of the floor. He's exactly what we need, Lakers. Talk about mortgaging picks. He's exactly what you need. Yeah, he would be great for us right now. But anyway, he's made some stops. Of course, he played for the New Orleans Pelicans, where they, like Pelicans do, didn't develop him, didn't know what the hell they had, traded him away in the DeJounte Murray trade, of course, where another one of our mortgage picks is headed to Atlanta. And they also sent the mortgage pick of Dyson Daniels to Atlanta. So all the Lakers stuff is in Atlanta right now, balling out. Anyway, so that is what's happening there with Dyson Daniels. He's one of the most important players down there playing the shooting guard position. You got to be aware of him. Jalen Johnson. We didn't draft him, but he's damn good, and I wish we did. That kid is fantastic. I thought he was ready to play years before they asked him to, but now that he's out there, he's basically playing like an all-star. He had some injury issues last year, but generally speaking, when he's on the floor, he's a jam machine. He's dunking the ball left and right. I mean, all the highlights pretty much had him catching lobs, so you can expect him to dunk the ball at least 3 times tonight. That boy is special. He can shoot the mid-range, 3-level scorer, nice rebounder, length. He's just turned into one of the better small forwards in the Eastern Conference, and we got to be aware of him down there. So, yeah, Jalen Johnson, and, of course, Zachary Reese-Sachet, off ball, finds ways of scoring without, necessarily breaking people off the dribble. He has a nice shot. His explosiveness is extremely underrated. This dude can dunk the ball like Jalen, catching lobs, two-hand jams, all that stuff all day long. Very nice corner three-point shooter and a very good defender. So he's all over the place. He's obviously a rookie, developing first overall pick in this year's draft. He is good, just like I told people he was going to be. He's good, and he fits in with that Atlanta team like a glove. It's absolutely and utterly cohesive down there with those guys. And of course, you got Trae Young, who's a game-time decision. I'm hopeful that Trae Young will not play tonight. Hopeful he won't play. But, he's been averaging like 12 assists, which is the most since John Stockton. He did go 0 for 9 from behind the arc in the last game against the Bucks, where they did get the victory. So hopefully he's cold if he does play. He's dealing with some type of Achilles injury, so they may want to. Anytime I hear the word Achilles, it's like, rest that. Hopefully he doesn't go tonight. We could certainly use him not being out there, since LeBron James is a game time decision. He may not be available tonight, and we'll talk a little more about that in a minute. But yeah, of course you got to deal with Onyeka Okongwu. Of course, we know him from USC. He is also someone who played with Bronny James, I believe it was. Or was it the Ball brothers? One of them. I think he played with Bronny. Yeah, I think he played with Bronny. I don't know how I got those two things mixed up. But yeah, Onyeka Okongwu is known for playing with Bronny in high school. So this is somebody we're going to see a lot tonight. Got to be ready for Onyeka Okongwu rebounding the ball. Offensive rebounds is definitely something that the Hawks been doing a lot lately, man. They've had, in all 5 of the wins, double-digit offensive boards. So we need to be aware of them on the glass. They've been kicking tail on the glass in just about all of their wins against very good teams, mind you. In this 5-game winning streak, they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers twice. One of them in tournament play. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks. And they had 2 other games. I don't remember who they faced, but they beat the heck out of them too, man. I think it was the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo. They beat them with a close game, I think it was. And that 5th matchup is not coming to mind. But I did watch highlights on it, ironically enough, so it'll probably come back very soon. But this is the type of thing that they've been dealing with lately, man. They've been running around just terrorizing people on both sides of the floor, lobbing the ball, assisting to one another. They do tend to turn the ball over a bit, but they make up for it in them offensive rebounds and in all those defensive steals there. So this is a Hawks team that I think is fantastic. They got young players. They all come together. Some of the guys that they're used to not being healthy are healthy. Talking about DeAndre Hunter, another Mortgage Laker pick. And, Bogey Bogdanovic as well. Got to be aware of Bogey. He can go hot. He can stay hot. I like that player. I wish he were a Laker. The Hawks are doing pretty good, man. Clint Capella rebounding the ball like crazy. If I'm not mistaken, Clint Capella had like 17 boards against the Bucks or something like that. Yeah, man. Okongwu, Jalen Johnson. You are not favored to win the boards tonight, Lakers. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think this is a great matchup for us. Now, if Trae Young isn't playing, it certainly helps. Quite a bit, obviously. But if the Hawks do what they're supposed to do and we continue playing the way we're playing, it's going to be another 30-point loss, man. That's just what it is. Anthony Davis needs to show up tonight, man. We need him to be big-time scoring Anthony Davis. I understand that he's dealing with the plantar fasciitis. From what I understand, he also mentioned something about a knee. I don't know what's going on with Anthony, but he had better get his body in order tonight or he might as well sit out. And so this is a game where I don't think it's the worst idea for the Lakers to just sit this one out. We're in Atlanta tonight. I know Quincy Olivares from the ATL, big-time Atlanta Falcons fan. I would love to see him get some minutes in his hometown. I think that would be a good way to showcase him and get him some minutes. Hopefully he's good to go. Jalen Hood-Schifino is out. You know what I mean? As we said, Bronny James, of course, still out. LeBron James out. Of course, we know Vanderbilt and Wood out. But also Austin Reeves is still on the injury report as out. So we got a lot of guards missing, man. We're not 100% out there. And I would love to see Quincy get those opportunities tonight in his hometown. So, yeah, man, this is a Laker team that hasn't been playing very well, to say the least. I mean, we've lost by a total of 70 points in the last 2 games. One of those games we only scored 80 points. Like, this is a bad basketball team over the last 2 weeks. We only won 2 games. One of them was the Utah game, which were all cleared. It was likely a loss if the coach didn't call a timeout on a game-winning layup for his own damn point guard. And, of course, the San Antonio game, which I just think was an aberration. We ran into a San Antonio team, pretty solid, but we were able to just come together and win the basketball game and did it in a pretty impressive fashion with 7 players in double figures. But outside of that, we've been losing every game by a lot. Not just, like, losing. We ain't really had too many close games. We're getting our butts whooping as of the last 2. That's 70 points. Is the most we've ever lost in the consecutive games in the history of our franchise. So, we're setting new records for ineptitude. We let the Miami Heat go off for 24 threes in their last game against us. That's the most they've ever had in their franchise. So it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm hearing people talk about accountability. I'm hearing people talking about it's not the coach's fault. I'm hearing people talking about how if you don't want to compete, and that's a problem in and of itself. But I'm not seeing people compete. Everybody knows how to talk a good game, but are we going to show up? I've been making videos over the last couple of days. One of them was a prep talk video. Another one was talking about the cloud of politics that ultimately I think people feel suppressed under and are not able to focus within. I've made videos about all types of different things that I think contribute to our losses. I encourage you to check all of them out. But at the end of the day, the Lakers just got to play better ball, and they got to rest some. We got some older guys here, run-down dudes. Guys have been picking up knick-knack injuries. We got to rest. So if Bron wants to rest tonight, if AD wants to rest tonight, I suggest they do so. Because I don't think they're going to beat the Hawks any damn way. I really don't. And I've been wrong a million times. I'm rooting for the Lakers to win. But I just don't think the matchups fit us, man. This is an athletic team that plays both sides of the floor, that gets up and down with the best of them. You just don't have that athletic ability with your roster right now. Especially if Bron and AD are not 100%. Especially if Austin Reeves ain't down there to create foul trouble for some of them dudes. Drawing fouls like he does. And hitting threes. Gives us scoring. We just don't have it. You can throw Max Christie out there. You can throw Max Lewis out there, as I've mentioned. You want to throw your athletes at these people. Hope for the best. Because if we're doing the Gabe Vincent thing, it ain't working. I'm telling you right now. You know what I mean? We are not going to be able to get away with that. So, I'm just telling y'all. Styles make fights, as they say. And the style of the Atlanta Hawks versus the style of the Los Angeles Lakers, it ain't looking good. This is a team that beat Cleveland twice in a row. Back-to-back games they had to play Cleveland. Cleveland lost both of them. But it is also a Hawks team that lost to the Wizards in that same fashion earlier in the season. Styles make fights. The Wizards have a bunch of athletic young guys that run up and down the floor, some rim protection, players that can keep up with their athleticism, guys like Koulibaly and Kyle Kuzma and stuff like that. They got those type of guys to go up against the Jalen Johnsons and the Reece Sachets and all that, and DeAndre Hunters. When it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers have stilts. Big power forwards with long arms, but only a few ball handlers, and Darius Garland, who's undersized. And a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who's a bit shorter. So they got bigger players at every position and more wiggly players in the front court to try to make things a little more weird for the Cleveland Cavaliers matchup. You got Mobley, they got Okongwu. You got Allen, they got Capella. And they got Jalen Johnson down there doing all types of stuff. So the Hawks, stylistically, going up against Cleveland Cavaliers, match up weird. So it's all about matchups with the Hawks. Like, literally all about matchups. As it pertains to us, this on paper shows the matchup clearly favors the Hawks. With all the athletic players and floor spacers, with our poor perimeter defense against the Heat, I could argue the Hawks have better shooters than the Heat. I could argue that. So we just need to be aware of the styles here and do the best we can to put the players on the floor that can match the style, to my opinion. And I think that gives us the best chance to compete. Because I'm telling you, the stuff that we've been running lately, the way that we've been doing things, with players being out and us deciding we want to go small, and some of our bigs are not going to be able to keep up with their bigs in any way. It just is what it is, man. If Anthony Davis isn't absolutely playing his best, and if LeBron James isn't looking spry, spinning around, doing all the stuff that pull these people around, it's going to be a running fest. They're going to be running and gunning. What you're hoping for is that the Atlanta Hawks have a cold night, a high turnover night. That's what you're hoping for. That you can get them bigs in foul trouble, expose their bench even further, which is really deep, to be honest with you, especially since everybody's healthy. You know what I mean? So it don't look good. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I've seen games where we won like this somehow, but it usually requires someone to step outside their body. And if Anthony Davis ain't going for 50 or something like that, you're going to need a big game from Max Christie or something. You're going to need a big game from D'Angelo Russell. But this is not a good D-Lo matchup. See what I'm saying? Going up against Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, they're going to be picking the ball from him left and right. So, stylistically, this is absolute and utter loss. But the game still has to be played. And once it goes up, maybe the refs favor you. Thing is, the Hawks get to the line. In fact, they've been getting to the line about 20 times in all of these 5 of these wins. So Trae Young is a foul fisher, just like Austin Reeves is. He's going to be flopping. He's going to be leaning to the side, falling on the ground. That's what Trae Young does. And Jalen Johnson gets his share too. Clint Capella, those bigs, they're going to get their share too. So Onyeka Okongwu hits corner threes now. He stepped his game out to the three-point line. Now he's hitting corner shots and threes and stuff like that. So we need to be aware of just how versatile their bigs are and just how wiggly their forwards and their wings are. They got them all up and down the roster. When the second wave comes in, they got fantastic shooters like Hunter and Bogey. Yeah. It just is what it is, man. I could argue this team is better than Miami. I think they are better than Miami right now. So, yeah, man, we're just running into a very good Hawks team right now who's on a very hot streak. Maybe they take this game for granted since they seen the Lakers getting blown out. Maybe they come in with their shoulders slumped. Obviously, the crowd is always with us when we go to Atlanta. It's damn near like going to another Laker home game with all the Laker fans there. But that hasn't stopped us from losing our share of Hawks games on the road over the years. So, we just gotta come in with some pride. Take every possession seriously. Take care of the basketball. Hopefully we get a hot night from a guy like D'Angelo Russell, though I just think they're going to put the pressure on him that's going to make it really difficult. And smart money pulls a rabbit out the hat and just goes with some of the young guys just for the sake of the strength, speed, and matchups, which are going to be fast-paced. Probably the pace will be favoring the Hawks. And if Trae Young is, in fact, out there, he's going to dictate a lot of what happens just by being great. Hitting long three-point shots, teardrops, massive assist numbers. It just is what it is. So that's really what it is. The Lakers need to go get some athletes and get them some higher level bigs. And that's what needs to happen. We need an overhaul of talent on this team. Probably need some personalities to exit right away if possible. And I would love to be more optimistic, but I just don't see the matchup. favoring the Lakers. If the Hawks do what they're supposed to do, they should probably win by double digits tonight, the way that we've been playing and with who we have missing. We haven't been able to find energy without Austin Reeves continuously using possessions to do his thing, getting guys involved at times, but mostly shooting the shots he wants to shoot, fishing for fouls, driving at the rim, getting to the line a million times. We missed that dynamic. We're not replacing it anywhere. You know, there's nobody who's doing that for us without him. So, yeah, if Bron's going to sit, prayers up. That's really what I got to say to the Lakers. So, tonight we're going to be wearing our city jerseys. We haven't won in those jerseys yet. Kind of synonymous with losing, which is unfortunate because I do like those jerseys. And the Hawks will be having their sky blue, white, and caramel jerseys. I guess you can call it caramel. It's a little slight caramel there. And then they'll have a floor to match that jersey. It actually looks pretty solid. So they're doing their city theme tonight against us. And of course, this game is an early one, 4:30 as usual. Every game's 4:30 early in the season for some reason. It's the final game of our road trip, which is also noteworthy because a lot of times the final game of the road trip, you don't really show up. You know, guys are already halfway home in their minds. And with the way that we've been playing, I think guys are very much looking forward to that little 5-day rest that comes up after the Portland game on Monday, I believe it is, or Tuesday. So, yeah, no, that's probably on Sunday. I don't know. I don't think we have a rest really. So the game is likely either tomorrow or Sunday. And then the rest will come before we fly up to Minnesota midway through the week during the tournament that everybody's going to be involved in, from which we got ourselves eliminated from. So, yeah, man, I wish I remembered who the Hawks played those other two games. I watched some highlights for no reason, seemingly. But at the end of the day, I took a lot from it. And what I took from those games entirely is that the Hawks run, the Hawks get to the line, the Hawks rebound the ball on the offensive side. The Hawks are going to dunk the ball a lot. And, you know, you need athletes to keep up with them. And if you have them, you might be able to push them out of the way. If you don't have them, they're likely going to push you out the way. And that's just what the history is telling us with this team this season. They had some impressive wins, man, beating a Milwaukee team that's been on a winning streak. You know, even though they were missing. But both of those players on the floor. I think Dame and Giannis were both on the floor when they beat them. And of course, the Hawks the Cleveland Cavaliers back to back, for which only have 3 losses. Those are 2 of them. So, like, they're not afraid of good teams. They've been playing at a high level, just like everybody else we've been seeing. Difficulty on highs, I've been saying. And they should bring the right intensity to a Laker team that hasn't been able to find it within themselves to do so as of late. So, yeah, man. We are not favored to win this game, but we come in as the underdog. And, you know, I would love to say that we're going to bring pride, but I haven't seen any. You know, this team's going to have to prove themselves to be someone that has any pride and heart. And as of late, they just haven't had any. They haven't had any fight. They haven't really believed, and they haven't really brought the intensity necessary to make it happen. And given they're missing a few players, they use that as an excuse. Given the guys are tired, they use furthermore that as an excuse. So I don't know what to say other than to say, hopefully tonight they find it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. Because we're playing really bad ball. Guys really have been consistent in playing bad ball. And with the little fight that they showed in the last one, there should be no reason anyone's betting that they're going to show any tonight. Especially against a team that I think is better at the tail end of a road trip, for which people are usually checked out anyway. So yeah, man, hopefully the Lakers can find it in themselves to compete. If this is a close game, that's almost like a moral victory given how poor we've played. I would love to see us have a close game tonight, man. Push the Hawks to the max. Get some people in foul trouble. Run hard. Play your maxes. I guarantee you, if you play your maxes, you may not win this game, but at least you're not going to be ran past. That's really what it comes down to. Because those are the 2 most athletic wings we have. Play your maxes. Play your Quincy. See what happens. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.